Yeah, excited to be full-fledged into Duke week. Guys came back in the facility yesterday, reviewed Miami of Ohio, returned yesterday evening for brief install at Duke and a walkthrough. Getting into a short week. Just completed a great Monday practice, which for us in terms of our routine felt very much like a Tuesday practice for our guys. Really proud of where our guys are at. I think there's a level of humility, ownership, excitement. Excited about the outcome from Saturday, but also a group that is humble and knows that we have a ton of work to do in all three phases of our game. Excited to host Duke. Back at home. What an incredible environment on Saturday. I'm excited for our fan base and our community to even build more off of that. A Friday evening game against another great opponent. These guys are a darn good football team. We certainly experienced that last year. They got after us last fall. Obviously a new coaching staff, but the job that Coach Diaz has done in his short time there, what he's done in his time at Penn State with that defense was nothing short of extraordinary. His time at Miami, this is a well-coached football team. Offensively, they're going to find a lot of ways to stress us. Great skill on the perimeter, talented backs. Quarterback that might have the most live arm that we've seen in a long time, and they're gonna find ways to tempo us. I mean, they are full-fledged tempo when they decide to ramp it up. They really go. So there'll be some unique stressors on our defense this week. It's going to require a great week of practice. It's going to require us playing complementary football on on Friday night in all three phases. We got a group that's excited for the challenge.
Coach, it seemed like you guys really hit an inflection point after last year's game against Duke. How have you seen yourself specifically grow as a coach since that Duke game, and what have you learned since that point?
Yeah, I've learned a lot, but I think that was an opportunity for me. Last year I think there was times where I was so caught up in all the things going on day to day that I didn't necessarily do a great job of really enjoying myself. At the end of the day, the reason that I decided to do this, the reason our family does this, is because it doesn't seem like I've ever worked a day in my life. I get to work with 18 to 23-year-olds and coach the game of football and bring a lot of passion and energy to that. And I think there was an opportunity for me post-Duke last year to really reflect and just realize that, man, bringing energy, passion, a sense of urgency, a competitive spirit that, has served me well throughout my playing career and my coaching career, and make sure that was at the forefront of everything that I was doing. And I still have to remind myself of that. I mean, that's what I have to lead with. I do this because I love, pouring into a bunch of young men in our program, and I like to compete, and I got to make sure that that's at the forefront of everything that I'm doing. And that was a wake-up call for me last year. I said it after the game last year. That one was on my shoulders. I didn't do a good job of getting our team prepped, and excited to make sure I'm doing a better job this week.
Coach, now that you've had a full week of game preparation, how would you assess how you did bouncing between all three rooms instead of just normally being in the defensive room? And are there any adjustments you're going to make this week now, even on a shorter week, just with bouncing between every room?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's something I'm gonna honestly have to continue to work through this entire year. As I alluded to Saturday, it was strange not calling plays on Saturday. And there's a really fine line there. The best head coaches I've been around interject on game day. They interject throughout the week. They're thought-provoking. They play devil's advocate. They bring knowledge to the room that they're experts in, but they also know when to step back and just let their coordinators do their job. The last thing you want is a coordinator in any of the three phases that's gun shy. At the end of the day, those guys have more time to really dive into the film than you ever do as a head coach. And you got to trust those guys. my goal is just to continue to bring value, continue to hopefully bring my insight from my experience to help all three of those guys and all our position coaches. But there's also a lot of unique things going on in college football right now. And some of the things that I have to have my energy in when it comes to scouting and recruiting, on the horizon, what college football is going to look like for a year from now. Really appreciative of, everything that, Dr. Gregg has done up to this point and what he's doing in his new role. Also very, very excited about what Pat Goss has done in terms of, this transition phase for the last 8 weeks, and thrilled to have Mark Jackson coming on board. And, it's just really, to be honest with you, it's finding that balance between all those things, but making sure that I'm ultimately prioritizing our team, our 111 guys, and helping our coaches. Starting to find that rhythm, but there's definitely still some kinks to work out.
Coach, as you sifted through the game film from this past week, I'm just curious if there are any units or individual guys that really impressed you that you wanted to shout out, maybe that isn't getting enough attention from wider audiences.
Yeah, gosh, this could be a really long list. I'll keep it brief. Really proud of the way that Mac Uline, played. Robert Fitzgerald, huge play at the end of the game. I think the thing that I pointed out in our team meeting yesterday that I'm so damn proud of is the development that we've seen throughout this entire team. And when you think about development, sometimes you just think of the first years or second years on our team. I'm alluding to those guys. The Rick Amarazis and the effort that he played with in his first college football game. Evan Smith stepping up, did a great job. Had a pick. Josh Fussell stepping in, really with his first action on the defense side of the ball. Jaden Cameron, young man that, to be very honest with you, love the young man. He's incredible. But when I first got here, I didn't know if Jaden would ever see the field for us. He's been through so many difficult ups and downs throughout his career, continued to improve daily, has earned an opportunity to get on the field in critical situations, has a huge PBU in the game, played really well in his opportunities. I mean, those are the things that give you goosebumps as a coach, and credit to him, credit to Coach Smith. And that's what we need to embody every day, just this team continuing to grow and to develop.
Dave, how do you evaluate the play of your offensive line?
You know what, there are certainly things that we need to continue to improve upon, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of things to be really excited about with that group. I felt we ran the ball well and effectively. We just got to do a better job of not setting ourselves back. A couple things that we can really control, a couple good calls by Miami, protected the quarterback well, which is absolutely critical. We need to continue to build off of that. A credit to Mike for getting the ball out on time and being a decisive decision maker, which is critical as well. That group knows that there's a lot of continued growth that's necessary, but I'm really excited about where that group's trending.